Use code AFTV25 for 25% off your order with Faraway Pizza. Click the link below or visit faraway.co.uk now.
Welcome back to AFTV. Arsenal 4, Everton 0, and I'm here to get Turkish's thoughts. Does this not feel more like the 1-0 of last week, and then last week's win against Leicester was more the 4-0 performance? Why am I being harsh?
100%. I think at the end of the first half against Leicester, it was like we should be a few goals up. At the end of the first half here, we was wondering how we was 2 goals up. That first 40 minutes, Everton done quite well. I think they probably had the better openings, and Arsenal really failed to create anything. It just looked like one of those frustrating halves, and I expected Mikel to rip into them. To be honest, I still think Mikel did rip into them, regardless of being 2-0 up, because it was a poor first half from us. We wasted the ball a lot. But let's not dwell on that, because at the end of the day, it was 4-0 come the end of the game. It was 2-0 come the end of the first half. And we got the job done in terms of that game in hand. Is now points on the board. 5 points clear of Man City. And we've got a favourable run headed into the international break. I think it's all games we should be winning. Fulham away being the most difficult of the lot, but even that, I believe we should be winning that game. And we've got Lisbon either side of that Fulham game as well, to try and, keep up the momentum in the Europa League too, and go for that as well. Because I don't think it's a question about sacrificing one for the other. I think we've got the players and the squad now capable of fighting on both fronts, with Jesus' return round the corner, Emil Smith-Rowe getting minutes, Partey back as well in action. Great to see him back, and he had a solid second half as well. Showed us exactly what we've been missing, albeit Jorginho's done well, deputising for him. I think all in all, aside from that 40 minutes in the first half, perfect result and a perfect, night.
Well, you touched on the subs there. I mean, the subs that came on: Partey for Jorginho, Tierney for Zinchenko, Vieira for Xhaka, Smith-Rowe for Saka, and then Nketiah for Trossard. I mean, that is squad depth. That is using 5 subs. You've changed almost half the team, or you've changed all half the outfield players. And we get Smith-Rowe getting minutes, which we know he needs. Since his injury, is great to see that. Vieira as well, getting some crucial minutes and showing some glimpses. So that's a positive as well.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Arteta mentioned it this week. He has options now, and in the next few games he's going to be able to rotate, and that's what it's about too, because he also mentions that players can't keep up the same level for 10 months, and I agree with that, especially in systems where you're asked to work a hell of a lot offensively and defensively off the ball too. You need players to be able to come in and still maintain that level that's being shown by the first teamers, and over the last few games that's what we've been seeing. Trossard comes in for Eddie over the last 2 games, and we're happy about it. When Eddie came in for Jesus, there was a lot of question marks, but we was happy with his output initially. Obviously, it dried up, and that's why Trossard stepped in there. But that's what a squad is there for. Yeah. And I keep on just thinking, when Jesus comes back too, I'm going to be looking at our bench thinking, well, it's looking quite healthy all of a sudden, And I want to mention Martinelli and Saka. Yeah. I think Saka actually had a quiet game, but he got a goal and an assist. And what a goal that first goal was. Weaker foot, just banged it top corner. And the assist, it was good pressing. But overall, quiet game, and he still got a goal and assist. Martinelli got 2 goals. That's 4 in 3 now since he was dropped to the bench, and that's the type of response that I want to be seeing. And if you look at the league winners in the last 5-6 years, both Liverpool and Manchester City, they've got wingers that score goals. Yeah. And, Martinelli just hit 11 in the league. Yeah. Saka's just hit 10 goals. He's got 9 assists too.
Unbelievable.
So our wingers have contributed 21 goals so far to this league season. So it bodes very well moving forward. And Trossard got another assist again today.
Yeah.
He got another assist. That's a couple of assists for him in a row. It's looking real good at the moment, man. 5 points clear and a good run.
And also, we're not talking about game 14, 15 anymore. We're 10 games ahead. This is now the 25th game. We're 3 games away from saying 10 to go. Then that's crunch time. I mean, I can see the smile on your face, because that's the part of the season. And I'm not saying, get into that, then it's job done. Great. It's not that. It's not like, we weren't expecting to be here, so we can give up at that point. But once we get to the 10 games, it's that sense of like, okay, it's in touching distance now.
Yeah, I think 10 games is where, a better assessment of will we or won't we comes into play. And even then, it might still be premature, because Manchester City are going to be on our tails. They're through in the FA Cup now, so I believe they've only got a couple games left before the international break, and we've got 3 left. So going into that international break, we've got an opportunity to go 8 points clear heading into the last 10 games of the season. And we've got 5 home, 5 away fixtures. Man City will have 11 fixtures because of that rescheduled one for the FA Cup. And Prior to that, it was 5 home, 5 away. I forgot whether their fixture against West Ham, which was the one that's going to be rescheduled, is home or away. But we've got difficult games in April and May. We've got to go away to Liverpool, away to Newcastle, and away to Manchester City. That's 3 massive games that are coming up. So this cushion that we've rebuilt and hopefully can continue building, if we can go into that international break in April 8 points clear, then mentally, on this Manchester City team, who, yes, they've got the experience in winning league titles, and yes, they've been the best team over the last 5-6 years. It's new waters for them, in my opinion. It's a transitional year. They've brought in Haaland, and they sold a few of their key players, a couple to us and one over to Chelsea, which hasn't worked out quite as well as the ones to us has. But it'll give them something to think about. And with Champions League football for them, the trophy that's eluded them over these years, where they have been the best team in Europe at times, and they haven't managed to get over the line in that competition. I'm hoping that we do enough to put us in a position where they put most of their eggs in that Champions League basket, because I don't think Man City have the squad they used to have in terms of rotation and still being able to put in a high level of performance. So tonight was a big win. I'm sure they was all watching over in Manchester, and to pull out a 4-0 win when we didn't have the greatest of 40 minutes. No. We didn't have the greatest of all-round performance, in my honest opinion. Yes, it picked up in the second half.
I'd honestly say on 70 minutes, we started to play like the Arsenal I know this season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, when Partey came in, we looked a lot more assured. It was 2-0, but you could see what Thomas Partey brings to us. But around 70 minutes is when the free-flowing moves started to happen, and the interchanging, the passing and moving, getting into the box and creating opportunities. And we buried what we needed to bury. 5 shots on target, 4 goals. Can't complain, James.
And that's 9 in the last 3. The 3 before that, we were winless. So how quickly things change. Thanks, Turkish. Appreciate it.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.